Hi, this is Brooke and Adam from Imaginary Lemons, and today we have a room tour on board the Disney Fantasy.
This is a wheelchair accessible ocean view stateroom with roll-in shower. Welcome everyone. This is room 5686 on the Disney ship. As you see, it is quite spacious for people in wheelchairs because it's accessible. That's neat, is it not? I think so.
So when you first come in, queen bed. This is a solid bed. It does not come apart. Unlike other cruise lines, you cannot make this two twins. There are several extra seats. This one here, we're actually going to have to move because it's in the way of Adam's wheelchair. But you've got that one. You've got two over here. You have a couch which turns into a bed. And then above the bed, you also have a Pullman bed. So that'll come down from the ceiling. You don't have to do it. Guest services will do it for you, or your room steward will do it for you when you go to dinner. This is a connecting room. This connects with 5688. This comes with a refrigerator. That is a refrigerator. Can you open it?
Oops.
So this does reach refrigerator temperatures.
And it's a good thing it auto closes on its own because that's good.
We have a cabinet up here and the doorknobs are low, which is nice. So you can store stuff in there. We have a drawer under the desk, which comes with the emergency numbers, some postcards and envelopes. You can actually have those postcards mailed from Castaway Cay. There is a post office there. You have to buy Bahamian postage, which you can get at the front desk. It's us. So let's talk about outlets. It's very important when you've got electric wheels. So there are two American/Europe ports. Those work for both, I believe. You've got two solely EU ports, or the 220 volt. That's a light switch. Those are also light switches. You have two USB-A ports over here as well. You have three drawers here. One has your hair dryer, which is not great, but pretty standard, and a place to put hot tools, like styling tools. And then there's two other drawers that are empty. Got more shelving up here. I find this is a good spot for snacks. There is the original four ships with Steamboat Willie down here. Two sets of hanging, which is lovely. One is
Adam height.
Adam height. You have three more drawers here. And then you have nice sized closets. So let's check them out. We haven't actually opened these yet. All right, so we have the life jackets up there. Now, if you're traveling alone, have someone pull them down, have the room steward pull them down so that you can access them in case of an emergency, assuming you're in a wheelchair. We have a safe and the two shelves down there. This pulls down. So you grab this, and then you can pull down. It's awkward with one hand, but otherwise, here, Adam, why don't you show how that works? Whoop!
It does have a little weight to it, so you have to like really pull it to get it to come down.
Does it stay down once you pull it all the way down?
No, it does not.
The problem was that the bar was unbalanced. Once I took off the hangers and slid the bar to the middle, it worked perfectly and it did stay down on its own. There was a child-size life jacket up there as well. More life jackets. I guess these are the adult size. These are for persons 43 kilograms or more, which I think that's like 100 pounds or so. Then you have, this is the ladder that would be used if you were using that Pullman bed. There's also a laundry bag. They do have a laundry service, or you can use
Self-serve laundry.
Self-serve laundry. And there is an accessible laundry, and that is on this floor. Beside the bed on this side, there are 2 more outlets. There are no outlets on the other side of the bed. So now let's talk about the bathroom. So when you first come into the bathroom, there are drainage grates there. Usually Disney rooms are pretty good about not having floods in the bathroom. There is a towel here, which I'm going to remove because Adam's just going to either roll over it or trip over it. So give me a minute.
As you come up to the bathroom, there's a slight incline to the floor. So just be aware that somebody may walk in. Just be aware that and don't trip.
Yup, I almost tripped already. We've been in here for about 10 minutes.
And so right now we have the regular shower curtain, which is fine. You have a grab bar to the far wall, which I believe just pulls down. So if you were able to stand and do it that way, you can stand and hold on to this. I found these pretty secure, so it's like it doesn't move, it doesn't wiggle, anything like that. So those are pretty standard and good. You have also the shower bench, which just pulls down as normal. And it thunks, so it's good. Nice and solid. And yeah, we have our H2O products / Disney brand, but we have those. And of course your royal throne that has been used not yet by us. Towels, of course. You have your string bar right there, as you can see up that. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Clothesline?
Clothesline, yes. You have an upper one and you have a lower one. And so that is good. There is an emergency call string in here that you have to contact your room steward and have them activated. But they do have them in a lot of accessible rooms. So if you need that or just want to make sure it's to be more secure, there is an emergency pull cord beside the toilet. Very standard under the sink clearance. You can get pretty close. On off, waterworks.
Now they do have another outlet in here that is shavers only. They usually have a sharps container. If you need that, they'll bring you one if it's not already in your room. That's the first time I've seen it not actually already in the room. The door is automatic, so you push this button and the door opens.
And if I recall, I believe it's a 30-second time window that will close. Actually, no, that's more like 20 seconds.
You also have, so this, you have to put this in, you have to put a card, whether it's your Key to the World card or for us, the hotel room key from last night. And that
will power on the electrical of the room.
Because all the lights and the air conditioner will turn off. Well, most of them will. If you don't have that in there. So to run your lights and potentially your air conditioning, you need to have those on there. I don't know what these other things are. This little red button. We'll have to ask what that is. We'll let you know. This room is muster station O, which is located on deck 4 in the tube. So we'll be heading down 1 floor to
our muster station.
Yes. So this is an aft cabin, and so we do have 2 portholes, which is nice. There's a nice amount of sunlight happening here. I was a little worried about that because it's the first time we're in an ocean view room, but there's nice sunlight, and figure out how to open this. Oh, there is a pull. So we will have aft views. So that's lovely. Even though we won't be able to go outside, there is like a little walkway here. Not a walkway, but like for maintenance people. Oh wait, no, yeah. So that it is closed, so maintenance people could go out there. But otherwise, we won't be going out that way. Frankly, a little bit nervous because we've done 3 days in an interior room, but every other room has been a balcony. And I was a little anxious about whether we were going to feel closed in an ocean view room for 7 days. This is a 7-day cruise, but I'm not worried about that anymore. This feels like a really nice room. It's very spacious. It doesn't at all feel claustrophobic. And now I have other videos online had this bed down and the other bed down, and so that felt like a lot. But for 2 people, I mean, this would be fine for 4 people. Let's be clear.
It's a lot of space for 4 people. There's a lot of drawer space, a lot of cabinet space. The chairs, I don't know. You may want to remove 1 or 2 chairs, in my opinion, because I think they take away some of the space for a wheelchair, but it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, you can put them off to the side. There's a little cubby over there that one of the chairs could fit in. I'll probably leave these 2 here because they're not bothering anybody. And I'll probably take the one that's in Adam's way and move it to like just block, because we don't know those people, so we don't need to be going back and forth. So I'll just
move it over
there, and so it'll be out of the way. I imagine if you needed them to actually take it out of the room, they could probably make that happen if you really were having a space consideration. But for people who almost always do balconies, I'm feeling like we're going to be very comfortable in this room.
This could be a nice option. It should be a little bit cheaper because it's not a veranda. So
I mean, typically this is room would have been like $1,000 cheaper at least. So that's a whole lot of Mickey pretzels, right? So I'm measuring everything this weekend with Mickey pretzels. But that's a lot of shopping. That's a lot of spa time. That's a lot of treating yourself that you can do with that $1,000. So I would definitely recommend this room if you aren't absolutely needing a balcony and you want to save some cash.
This will do.
This is a nice option. I'm no longer worried about being in here for a week, and I legitimately was. So we will update this as we learn new things, as we always do. We always learn new things as we stay in the room for a couple of days. But our first thoughts are this is super comfortable. And do you see any concerns?
No concerns. Everything looks good right now. We should. There's a lot of maintenance hatches that I got to figure out what they are, but that's just me because I like there's 1 over there, there's 2 over there, there's 1 back there. It's like, what are they for? But that's me.
I'm sure he will find out by the time we're done. He will ask people. He's that guy. If you haven't seen our most recent videos, you may not know that Adam is currently driving a wheelchair that is not his. The airlines broke his wheelchair, link for video, and so this is now day 2 of driving a loaner that is just super different than he's used to. So just in the time we've been in here and having to navigate with this chair you're not used to, how are you feeling in that?
It's okay, I think. Overall, it's okay.
Space-wise?
Space-wise, it's just because, again, my chair is different, and so in my other chair, I can turn it a dime in a circle, spin. This one right here is not so much. I have to worry about the back end coming out or swinging out when I turn left and right.
So think about somebody who doesn't usually use a scooter, but is in this room and using a scooter for the first time. How do you think they're going to do?
They'll be good. They should be fine. There's enough space for you to L turn or that you turn back up to left, right. There's more than enough space to do that. It'll get you. It'll meet your needs.
Awesome. And we got to figure out where we're going to charge his thing. That's going to be the next figure out. So when we figure that out, we'll let you know
We'll
because
let
this
you
one
know.
also has much more complicated in charging than his typical wheelchair. So, yeah, this is gonna be fun. But all right, so it has been 7 days,
Yes.
and we've now packed up, and we're going to be heading off of the Disney Fantasy tomorrow. But we wanted to check in about the room and talk about some of the things we found, some of the quirks, some of the interesting things.
Wow. Yeah.
So I'll start with the bed. So it didn't occur to us until after we stopped recording that the bed is actually not chair
Wheelchair
height.
height.
So, and that's strange because we've been on the ship before and had a wheelchair height bed. So, I don't know if this is like there was something with this room, but because my guess is that maybe they just temporarily swapped this out. But if you arrived at this room and the bed was too high,
It'd be
talk
a
to
problem.
somebody
Yeah.
because maybe there's something they can do because they normally have lower height beds. So
Yeah.
I'm very surprised that and the room steward we had just recently been moved to this area of the ship, so I didn't bother asking him because
Yeah.
he didn't have the historical knowledge of like this room. That is one thing. I mean, it wasn't super high, but I mean, it's
I have
it's
to.
it's not a parallel transfer.
Right.
So if you need a parallel transfer, this would have been a problem. Certainly, it's still very open on the bottom, so lots of plenty of room for Hoyer lifts or things of that nature. That's one nice thing about cruise ship rooms is that they're usually really Hoyer lift friendly. But yeah, it's high. It's a high one. It's a
Yeah.
high one.
Also, we just learned about the lights, which is kind of quirky, and I don't know. Maybe this is standard, and we're just
We
learning
just
it.
didn't know.
But when you normal light switches hit click on and off. Well, this one, as you push it, the light dim.
But if you just push it in and out, it just works as a regular on off. So it's for these main lights. The ones that are like the lights that are by the bed are just on off. There's also a light that is usually over the bed, but in this accessible cabin, it's between the two beds. That is a night light. So there's a light on the desk that has a little red light on
Light
the
on it.
switch, and if you click that, then the night light stays on, and you can also change the intensity of the night light. So
Yeah.
the dimmable lights was a new thing for us. So this is a ocean view room that connects to a balcony. So these are kind of neat when you want like when you need a connecting room but you don't want to necessarily pay for two balconies. These are a bit of a unicorn in the cruise space. There's usually a handful of them on each ship where you could get like one balcony connected to a lesser priced room so that you don't have to pay double if you wanted to like have kids in one room or that sort of thing. So, I mean, this is accessible room, so you're probably not using this room for kids unless it's kids that are using the wheelchair, then that makes complete sense. But, this does have that nice advantage if you're a group that needs two cabins, you need one
Right.
accessible, but you also want a balcony, you can have that accessible. The downside is that that's not an accessible balcony, so that's not going to be useful in that regard.
One quirk about the door's automatic. And so the way it's situated, it's in the far corner where the normal handle is. But because it's accessible, you have to reach up and high to reach the touchpad for it to unlock the door. So it's not normally in like a lower level. It's not on the door itself, as with a lot of doors there are. This is on the actual wall and not the door to unlock.
I think what's different about this is that basically there's a triangle angle. And so normally if Adam were trying to reach for for a keypad, he would move he would drive his wheelchair a little bit past where he's trying to go and then he wouldn't have to reach as far, and he couldn't do that because this was a corner. If you are someone who has a hard time reaching forward from your wheelchair, you may have trouble opening the door independently. Another quirk about this room in particular, and it's not true of its partner room, which would be 5186. So in 5686, so normally when you have the layout of a ship, right? You're going to have a corridor and then a corner and a corridor and then a corner and then a corridor and then right, like so you make like a triangle. I mean a rectangle. So the bottom, so the and these are along the bottom. The bottom on the fifth floor is blocked. And so if you want to go from 5-1 from this room
Five,
to the
six, eight,
other
six.
from 5686 to 5186, which are like 4 cabins down, you'd have to go all the way up to where the elevators are, come over, come back down and go back around. The problem with this particular room is that that's where the laundry room is. So like even though it looks like you're about a foot and a half from the laundry room, you have to go all the way around.
Yeah.
And the fifth floor is a little bit awkward because one the starboard side for a lot of the ship doesn't go all the way through. Like, so you can't walk up the starboard side to get to like the forward elevators and mid elevators. You have to cross over. So it just, and because this is the kids club floor, it does a lot of like ramps and up and down because they make the
Yeah.
kids club section shorter so that the kids feel bigger, right? And so that means that the floor has to come up and the walls come, and so it's just
Yeah.
it's a little bit of an awkward floor. So it's not a deal breaker, but if I were picking between the two rooms, I would pick 5186 first because at least it's on that port side and it's a little less of the awkwardness and easier to get to the laundry room and just like,
Yeah.
easier to get around. Like this being at a dead end was a little bit weird. But being at a dead end meant a lot less traffic. There were
Yeah.
no kids running by. This was a very quiet section.
I did
We had
see.
adults on this side and we had adults and one child on that side. And so, I mean, it was real quiet.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, because that's the way it's blocked is that it's a access area for the crew. They're doing something like I can see hallways and things. So, and like they were always bringing trays in there. So like I did often find myself waiting to get to my room because some cast member was like awkwardly moving some giant cart into the corridor. But like, I mean, 30 seconds at a time, like it wasn't a big deal. So that's just something to know, especially
Yeah.
and especially if you are planning a trip with other people. Know, and you're picking rooms, like know that this room is isolated from those other rooms,
On the other side. Yeah.
yeah, on the other side.
I think
But
that's
other
it.
than that, I mean, it's been a great room. We've been
Spacious.
in it for a week now. I have not had any feelings of claustrophobia or wishing that we had a balcony. I've enjoyed the portholes. I have felt completely content.
This may, it may make me want to do these, I guess, porthole ones more because it's like I'm a balcony person, but this time I didn't really miss the balcony,
Really
but
didn't.
because they like okay, but it's a very nice room.
Yeah.
It's a very nice room.
Now I did have to. I rearranged the furniture a little bit near. So one of the portholes is above the bed, and the other porthole is over the side. I rearranged the furniture a little bit so that Adam could get up to the porthole. So if he wanted that experience of being able to like look directly out the window, so that's one recommendation I would have is if because when you're seated you can't see as well out the window unless you're like right up on it. So
Yeah,
consider that. But I mean, the furniture was really easy to move, so
yeah.
this was not a complicated situation at all. And yeah, I mean, the room was great. I highly recommend, especially if this means you can do an extra cruise a year because you're doing it. I mean, this is more
Ocean view.
shopping. This is more Mickey pretzels. This is more spa time. Like,
Yes,
you can use that $1,000 you saved not having a balcony in a whole lot of fun ways. So,
yes.
I definitely think I would definitely do this again.
So like I said, it was a very nice room. It was nice overall. Small quirks, but otherwise we enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Enjoyed it. Nice, lot of space in here.
really good room. Surprisingly not problematic for people who love a balcony. This was fine. Like I
Yes, man.
really, really, really thought I was gonna have a problem. This was fine.
Yeah.
So
So
I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions about the room or if you are looking to book a room like this, feel free to give me a call. Brooke at Vacation with the Magic. We specialize in helping people with disabilities plan travel. And so, sure, like him. And so we would be happy to set you
Help
up
you out.
and help you plan a trip that meets your needs. But until next time, thanks for watching, and stay strong, stay creative, and keep exploring. We'll see you in the next video.